So today is the 25th of May 2021. Welcome to the Newspaper Review segment here on Pan-African Television with me, Kwame, Owusu, Danso. I'm excited to be back again to share my morning with you, and I presume that you're excited to spend your mornings with me as well. Super excited about today. We're touching on a number of issues as usual. We're touching on an African story. The Africa we strive for is possible in unity and solidarity. The writer is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey. That's captured by the Ghanaian Times newspaper. I think this is a general topic that we can touch on. The Africa we strive for is possible in unity and solidarity. Council of State Chair accused of land seizure and harassment. Captured on the front page of the Insight newspaper. Dark streets, safety swallowed up in the night. Daily Graphic. National Security Director sacked for over Caleb Kude's assault, given top military appointment. That's captured by the Daily Post newspaper. I have the release here. I'll try and read it out for you. Ghana to produce COVID-19 vaccines. Well, we have question marks there. Are we going to be producing COVID-19 vaccines? These are the topics that we've selected for our conversation this morning. I've been joined in the studios by the Deputy National Women Organizer of the NDC, Mami Efuase Chiedu Wajeto. Good morning.
Good morning, Kwame. How are you?
Incoming MP.
Oh.
Incoming. 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 Anyway.
Kwame, my campaign manager.
Yeah, so, and our very own Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
I trust you're doing well.
Very well.
Absolutely beautiful to have you. I know you're not well, but for God and country, you needed to be here.
No, you know, as for sickness, if you allow it to say that that sickness can control you, then you keep on lying down.
Yeah.
So today I said, no. You know, I used to be lying in a Shaitani regime. Then I just woke up. I said, today I'm coming to Pan-Africa, and I'm here.
We're humble. Thank you very much. Always to benefit from your fountain of knowledge. Right, so the viewers, you know what to do. The phone lines, no, actually, the WhatsApp number will be activated very shortly. You can share with us what your thoughts are. We're also streaming live on Facebook, facebook.com/Pan-African Television, and we're on YouTube as well. For those of you who follow me on Facebook, you know it's as easy as ABCD. You can send your messages to me directly on Facebook at Kwame Owusu Danso, and I will respond to the messages that you send to me. I'm on Twitter at Kwame Owusu Danso as well. So we're starting the conversation with the African story. The Africa we strive for is possible in unity and solidarity. The writer is the Minister of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of Turkey. Ajamdatu. Interesting, right? This is something. This is something Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah prophesied in 1963. You know, when they had the AU summit, or at the time I think it was OAU summit. OAU.
Organization of African Unity.
Yeah, and he highlighted and enumerated a number of things that we needed to do. And one of the things that I recall reading was that he said that, well, even if we are not going to unify in terms of leadership,
yeah,
we can unify in terms of certain sectors of our various economies. You know, for instance, we must have a military high command. We must have one currency, we must have a central bank, and all of that. We must have a common market. You know, these were the very important things that he spoke about. Fast forward, you know, the Casablanca group and all of that. You know, so that didn't materialize. But it appears that our failure to listen to the suggestion by our Dr. Kwame Nkrumah is what has brought us this far. I mean, to this point where now we are not even developing. There's nothing happening on the continent of Africa. It's just about autocracy and taking power and milking from our various, you know, countries, etc. Is it the time? Are we ready now for that unification to happen?
Kwame, good morning.
Good morning.
And Mami, for my good friend and sister, how are you?
Good morning, Hajia. You are looking so beautiful.
Good morning to
Incoming.
And good morning to our cherished viewers out there. And then, you know, Kwame, after the Eid al-Fitr, I didn't come here. So I want to take the opportunity to wish my Muslim brothers and sisters happy belated Eid al-Fitr. And to the good people of Ghana, a very warm morning to all of us. You see, Kwame, Africa, you're asking whether it is time. I will say yes and say no at the same time. Yes, because if people are ready, if African leaders want us to unite, if African leaders want us to take control of our natural resources, if African leaders want us to take control of our economy, if they want us to take control of the day-to-day activities of the African continent, deciding on what to eat, what to grow, and what to wear, we will be ready. But we're not ready because that is not the thinking of the African leaders. Everybody wants to be his or her big fish in a small river, to the detriment of the population of Africa. Why am I saying this? Look at what is even, just let me limit my argument on only Ghana. What are we controlling in Ghana? All our natural resources is being controlled by foreigners, be it gold, diamond, to the extent of foreigners destroying our forest reserve, our water bodies, with impunity. I saw a video, a soldier talking to a Chinese man, can we go to your country and police the water? And he was just nodding his head. As if I should hit the face of that Chinese and then sort of put him in the water to drink it and see how it is. We have lost it completely as Africans. What Nkrumah and other people dreamt of for Africa is not what this current leadership that we have in Africa are thinking. How on earth can people just come from their country, invade our forests, cutting down our trees, cocoa and everything? But you know, because we cherish money more than even the future generation of this country. So we will go for anything. Ghanaians will go for anything, and for that matter, Africa. Somebody will just bring money. Yesterday, I heard somebody, one of the TV station, he went to a place in Ashanti region covered where this galamsey thing is happening. Apparently, we Ghanaians will go for the concession. The Chinese will come, you cut it, take this, and then every day they will come for their share. Forgetting that if you cut one tree, it's one life that you are cutting. And so for me, we should have people on the continent, for that matter, the younger, but unfortunately, even some of the youth are into it. They want to be rich quick. Anything goes. It's the money they want. You see, this gold that we are talking about, the trees. Today, God can decide that today the gold is finished. And then what else? Nothing. What next? Meanwhile, this cocoa you have been growing for years is what has been bringing you food on your table. I can say we have failed as Africans. We have failed. It's most unfortunate. If we can really think outside the box and look at what we can do as Africans to have a common goal, that is to make sure we protect our natural resources. We should decide on what to do with our natural resources. If we think we don't have those equipment to extract the gold, the diamond, then it should stay in the ground in such a way that, one, our forests will be okay, there is no problem, the ecosystem will not be affected, because look at what is happening. The rainy pattern, everything has changed. Everything. At first, if you go to a place like Owusu, Owusu, around 6 o'clock, my brother, you cannot even sit outside. But now it's not like that. Why are we chasing money and killing the aspiration of the African youth?
Ajay, the question perhaps would be, Why have we not been able to unite as a continent?
That is why, which means you didn't.
No, I was following. Yeah. I was following. But
everybody wants to do his or his own thing. Always when I'm talking about African unity, I still remember what Yoweri Museveni said when they had the AU summit at the conference center here. A journalist asked him, so what do you think about African unity? He said, oh, me, if I go to my country and tell the people we are going to have one president, they will say I'm crazy. You see, even a leader of a country, he doesn't even understand. So how can the ordinary person understand? So unless we have, maybe we have 54 states, isn't it? Country, in the, maybe some 10. As Nkrumah started it, gradual process where when we are doing it, people will be interested and then join, like the AU, I know, EU. That's what they did. They didn't just go for the whole African, European to unite. So at that time, because after the Nkrumah's generation, we didn't have leaders who were thinking that way. Because I remember Julius Nyerere, when he came here, he said some of them didn't understand Nkrumah. Why didn't you understand him that time? Why didn't you seek for clarity? But you allowed the Western powers to do what? To divide you. And we are still divided. We are still divided. An African country will be paying rent to Feng. Meanwhile, it is our African land, but you are paying rent. Does that make sense? Why can't we rise up and say, Côte d'Ivoire said, no, we are not going to pay anything to France again because it's our land, but we are paying it. We are paying it. So for me, if Africa wants to unite, we can, when we have leaders who are really thinking Africa, not themselves. How can a president not be there and then money will be chased in Swiss bank, foreign banks? I don't understand. You don't know that stealing your own money and stashing it in different accounts is rather building the economy of that country. People don't know that. You go and borrow. You steal the money that you have borrowed and go and stash it somewhere. Now when you die, then look at the petroleum minister in Nigeria. The lady, did you see the money that was in the building? Why? Why? So I think if Ghana, Togo, Nigeria, even there's the West African sub-region, if we want to unite, we can unite. When we unite, you have the SADA, you have the Eastern African. Then we say, okay, this is where we can cover our military. What can we do with our military? Our trade. What should we do amongst ourselves? Because we are not producing anything. Buhari did it and people were complaining. The rice in their country. Me, I can't eat it too. But they are eating it. Because we have made it a point that polished rice. I mean, I've stopped eating polished rice in my house. I eat Navrungo rice. Why don't we promote our own industry? You don't know that any perfume rice you buy, you are enriching the farmer in Vietnam, in America,
Texas.
in what have you. Meanwhile, look at the arable lands we have in Africa. Even look at Ghana, from Kumasi to Kentampua to Bolgatanga to Tumu. Agriculture alone can boost the economy of this country. And we'll go around borrowing. But what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. If you say, I don't know whether Ghana is, then you think about Africa too. The whole of Africa. I think we have to sit down as AU and re-strategize. It's not like we'll just go drink tea. They say, oh, why is it that your people, you did that to your people? Oh, you don't know. I want to go again. So I've decided to influence the parliament to change the rest, and then they'll say, oh, but next time, please, if you're going to do it, manage. That's what they're doing. If not, they will go and come back. We had a Zoom meeting. Women, we had a Zoom meeting initiated by Labour Party. So I made a comment that when we went to Rwanda in 2015, the AU document that I cited, that gender parity, they will attain gender parity by 2063. And I said, those of us here all will be dead by then. Will be dead by then. So I raised the issue. And a lady in AU, maybe she didn't understand. I don't know. At AU, if the chairman or say is a man, the destiny is a female. The deputy they've done. I said, I'm not talking about the AU as an organization, but the member states. Do we have gender parity? No. So you see, Kwame, we are not getting everything right at all as a continent. You go, they'll go to AU meetings, ECOWAS meeting, UN, go and sign big documents, conventions and charters, but when they come back to their local country, they don't implement it. So whom are you deceiving? Whom are you deceiving? How on earth, Ghana, after 64 years, we are not controlling our own natural resources. We don't even know how the gold and everything is being exported out of the country. I didn't say it. Per the report we read some time back, that Ghana had about 3 billion recorded. But meanwhile, out there is about 7 billion. So where is the rest of the 4 billion? And how can we tax something that is not on our record? We are our enemies. If we want to build this country, if we want to build this continent, we can, because we have the natural resources. The gold, the diamond. Go to DR Congo. I mean, for the soil, if you're walking, is black. Black, like Uta. We are sitting on money, but still, we are suffering. What kind of life is this? For me, when I was coming inside, I saw the African map and the broom. I didn't question it because I understood the message. Because Africa has turned upside down. Our head is down and our leg is up there. So, Pan-African TV, Aiko, that message, you have to zoom that thing for everybody to see it. Because it's a big message. If we have conscience, we'll start thinking as Africans based on what people have done. So in fact, I nearly called you and to come today, but I'm very happy I'm here today.
Thank you very much. It was designed and built by Africans Art.
Oh, wow.
So he conceptualized everything. Everybody said, well, there's unity in strength. Is it strength in unity or unity in strength? Which unity is strength? You know, but because Africa is fragmented and all of that, there's no unification. And because we are always at the beck and call of these Western donors, we don't have that political independence, and we are not economically independent.
Yes, I watch a video.
You know,
I watch a video.
Africa is turned upside down.
It's turned upside down. I watch a video. They were narrating what Nkrumah was doing and where he had a challenge, and I think the bank governor of the Bank of Ghana telling him the reserves that they had and what have you. And Nkrumah was like, so this is what is happening. You know, some leaders fail because the people around them are sycophants. They don't tell them the truth. Praise singers. Because the plan Nkrumah had for Ghana. I saw a gentleman on one of the TV stations. I don't know whether he was a concert man. Saying that Nkrumah built the factories and didn't have raw materials to feed the industry. That was why I said, look at this man. You don't even know the concept. There's nowhere Nkrumah put any factory that there was no raw materials to feed the factory. So even I tested on that, I think it was GTV Light or something. So I questioned them. I said, why the discussion about Nkrumah now? Like if it's today, you understand. So what is the motive? What was the motive? You see, no matter how people want to destroy the great leader Osagyefo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah and his achievement, they cannot do it. Because take away all what Nkrumah did for Ghana and even for Africa, and there will be nothing to talk about. If it's roads, who started it? The British. Look, go to Bemakam. The street they build is like this. Only one car can use it. Two cars cannot face each other. You understand? But look at motorway. Look at the motorway. When he was doing it, people were saying, oh, he's wasting cement, he's doing that. But look, it has stood the test of time. So I think let's have people who think like Nkrumah. And then for that matter, the blueprint he had for Ghana, when he couldn't even finish his work, and those reactionaries, the people who took us 50 years back, overthrew him. And look at where Ghana is today.
Right.
Go to the roads. Look at the roads that we are flying. Ashoma. Look at Kwame. Anytime you drive to the house, you have to take paracetamol. And we're talking about that we have developed. What kind of...
Thank you very much. Strangely, today is the 25th of May, right?
Yes.
And Nkrumah made that speech on the 25th of May,
Yes.
1963.
Yes, in 1963.
Right. In Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. I think everybody's just Googled that particular speech. Mind blowing. I loved it. I read it in South Africa, and I was like, wow, this guy. Anyway, but let me come to you on this subject matter as well. The Africa we strive for is possible in unity and solidarity.
Good morning to your viewers, and good morning to all women in Ghana, especially my NDC women, from Hannah Bisu to Abigail Mensah to all the regional women organizers, constituency women organizers, branch women organizers. I say Ayuko.
Which means...
Kwame, when we talk about Africa, where we started from and where we are now, I ask myself that, is it that we don't know what to do? And we are relearning all over again. Or we know what to do, but we just don't do it. For me, I keep saying, or I keep asking myself, that don't we see the evil in the pie? Don't we see the evil, you know, the hand of the evil in everything we do? Don't we see it? All of Africa looks similar. When you visit Ghana, it's not too different from when you visit Togo.
True.
It's not too different from when you visit Nigeria.
True.
It's not too different from when you visit Senegal. It's not even too different from when you visit Haiti. You know, where black people are, there seems to be a retrogression and no progression. We have seen videos of the white people saying that we will do whatever it takes to make sure that these people are suppressed. These people will not progress. And the African leaders know it. Who is the African leader today? The African leader today is the one who strives to have power to rule over, you know, their own small colony, okay, or their own small country. They come, before they, of course, they go through an election, so they say all the sweet things, all the right things. Once they get power, they do the opposite things. And you ask yourself that what really went wrong? African leaders have become greedy, selfish, insensitive to their citizens, to the extent that even our educational system is being destroyed. Sometimes you will think that when you have leaders, and these leaders focus on particular areas, gradually the generations after them will improve. But it doesn't. They come and they destroy the little that their predecessors had left them. Hajia said a lot. And Hajia, you know, as we all know, travels a lot and is a Pan-African die-hard person. But the truth is that I would also like to bring my story home. I'm more familiar with what happens in Ghana.
Sure.
And whatever happens in Ghana is a replication of what happens in other African countries. As Ghanaians, we said we were going to have ECOWAS, or I mean the African, the sub-region, the leaders in sub-region said we're going to have some sort of economic unity or forge some economic synergies, okay? So because of that, they were going to remove the barriers, you know, in the West African countries so that economically we can trade freely, economically we can benefit from one another and all of that. But what happened? That ECOWAS thing fizzled. I mean, nothing happened. All we knew is that it wasn't just going to happen. The ECOWAS card that they spent money in producing is useless. We heard we were going to have one currency. That one currency never happened, and it will never happen. Every country or every leader wants to have its own small country and lord over them, suppress them, steal from them, and become richer. I would like to, you know, I picked a few points from Achia.
Right.
When it comes to Osajifo, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah,
right,
we all know what Dr. Osajifo Nkrumah did, and we knew he was doing the right thing. And yet, we had other Ghanaian leaders who were able to convince other people to remove Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from there and come and, you know, do their own thing. Every time that we have a leader that shows a little sign of progression, either that leader is destroyed or is killed. Then we have leaders who come and they are all talk, but they do very, very little about anything. Our natural resources. Africa is blessed with natural resources. Africa is just blessed with natural resources. And yet, we have been poor managers of our own resources. Galamsey, we talk about Galamsey almost every day on our Ghanaian platforms. We talk about timber. And we know who cuts timber and takes where. How many Ghanaians really own timber concessions here? How many Ghanaians really own, what do you call it? If mining concessions. And the few Ghanaians that own mining concessions, we cannot regulate them properly and make sure that they do the right thing and it benefits them and us.
And we burn the excavators.
We just do the wrong things. You know, we just don't know how to. I don't know, but we are lost as a country. We sit down for some foreigners to come and convince us that, you know, cocoa is not doing well now. And because cocoa is not doing well, convince your people to cut down cocoa trees so that they can go and mine on their farms. And you ask yourself that, what kind of African leaders do we have today? They go and tell the farmers that, oh, when we cut your cocoa farm, we will give you this. I went just about 2 weeks ago.
Right.
I went for a funeral in Seshwi Bekwai. And one of my women organizers took me to a home, okay, where, you know, I think it was in the paper, so she wanted me to see that particular house. A poor woman, you know, who had her little shelter that she lived in. She had, you know how the homes in the villages are. She had an outside kitchen, okay? And in that outside kitchen, that is where her cooking and everything is done. Somebody came and said that they can find gold underneath her kitchen. And she told them that her husband was not around. So when her husband comes, she'll discuss it with her husband. Then they see whether they would agree to some sum of money and they do what they want to do. When the woman woke up in the morning, her kitchen, they've come and dug under her whole kitchen.
Oh.
Yes.
Without her approval?
Without her approval. Without her family's approval. So her kitchen is literally hanging. Why do we do this to ourselves? Why do we do that to ourselves? Look at our educational system. If we allowed our children to know Kwame Nkrumah better, to understand his vision, to know what he did for Ghana, some of our children will be encouraged and become the visionaries that we want them to become. Sure. What we couldn't do, they would do. But what do we see today? All Kwame Nkrumah's books have been taken off the shelf. They are not a part of the syllables anymore. Now we are bringing LGBT whatever books that are going to show children how to become lesbians, gays, how to tell themselves that today I sitting here, I'm a woman, and I feel like not being a woman anymore. I feel I want to be a man. I mean, you ask yourself what we call transgender. We ask ourselves that, and there's a new one. If you feel like being a bird, you can be a bird. Kwame, what's the name of that?
I've forgotten.
You know, there's a new one.
Yeah, where some of them are dogs. They say they are dogs.
Yeah, some of them are dogs.
I saw one woman put a chain and then she was full.
Our society has become so preserved. What's the word? Is it preserved? Do you know the word I'm trying to use?
No.
Anyway, our society has become so retrogressive. You know, we are not. We just. I don't believe we don't know I don't believe we don't know what we have to do. We know what we have to do, but we just don't do it because our leaders today are greedy. I mean, look at let me. You know, a political party, you know, takes power from another party, comes and destroys the whole financial sector, and you ask yourself that what exactly was the motive behind it? Was it that they couldn't, I mean, if there was a problem, the problem couldn't be fixed? Or what exactly was the motive behind it? Because we destroyed over hundreds of financial institutions, banks, microfinance outfits. You know, we just destroy ourselves day in, day out. And you ask yourself that exactly what is the problem with us? Is it that we do not want to see us progress? Once that I see Kwame is progressing, I must pull Kwame down. I must destroy him. Why? People with experience are not given the benefit of the doubt to work. See Haja and the kind of experience she has.
I don't go mind.
You know, look at our fishing industry is literally collapsed.
Oh, how Akumsin is there now to fix it?
Our fishing industry is literally collapsed. Now we have these Chinese people who are here with their trawlers all over the place. I mean,
lost for words.
Lost for words. I don't know, but Africa. We should weep for Africa.
Look at all these great people behind us. We'll be weeping.
The last AU meeting, where was it held? In France.
Why not? To go and have discussions about how to revive Africa's economy.
Can you believe that we have it in France?
Why is it bad?
We are talking about fixing Africa.
Yeah,
we are not talking about fixing what do you call it? Fixing.
It's not even going to have a conversation. It's not going to be part of this one. So
we're talking about fixing Africa.
No, you can go there.
Right. Boss, nobody has introduced you to anybody.
So I
you can't come in now and come and take over the show. Mami, please go ahead.
Yeah, I just believe that honestly we are destroying ourselves. What saddens me and breaks my heart is this Galamsey thing. This destroying our water bodies, making it very difficult for us to That's for Saka.
But I'll come back to you. I'll let you conclude.
Education. Then I remember something. You know, now when you go on social media, even before you see British curriculum, American curriculum. So I asked myself, when are we going to see Ghana or African curriculum? Why should you go and learn
anything Ghanaian is not good
some
enough.
People and not yourself? That's my very first. Look at when we were growing up, when we went to school. You know Now, do you know our school children don't even know the ministers of state, so they don't know.
No.
At first,
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. So one of these media people came and I was interviewing them. I said, "Who's the president of Ghana?"
media people.
You know, they come for intention. When they come, I interview them.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't want to mention the school. I said, "Who's the president of Ghana?"
No, you intimidated her.
I didn't intimidate.
This one we should know.
And the person makes Akufo-Addo and Mohammed's name together.
I'm telling you,
our educational system has been destroyed. Kwame, people graduate from school and are still illiterates. They graduate from school and they cannot speak or write proper English or speak it.
But you are even talking about English. People graduate from school to want to become slave queens. You are not thinking about that.
Can you imagine? You ask yourself that exactly how are we being educated?
I'm sorry, I'm laughing so hard.
How are we being educated?
Because the point is that the point of education is to be a better person, a better version of who you were, isn't it? Like, but right now, like even before they graduate, they are practicing the trade of slave queenism.
Kwame, do you know that?
I'm telling you,
Kwame, a few years ago, okay.
The future of this country is not good.
And I said it the last time here. That when a woman was pregnant, they'll say, "Oh, eat more amani, eat more fish, eat more this." Now, when you're pregnant, you can't eat fish because of the chemicals that people use in mining galamsey. They've destroyed the water bodies. They've
So what do we eat?
That's what you.
When you are pregnant, what do we eat?
Saka, I think it's very rude of you to do this. You've not been officially and formally introduced. I'm not going to do it. You can't come here and dictate what to do.
So now when a woman is pregnant, the woman cannot even have the so-called natural, organic, nutritious meals anymore. Our plants are suffering. Our dairy is suffering. And it's all being chemical. And we have, I don't know why we watch our country being destroyed. Why we watch our country being destroyed.
Well,
one is not proud being an African anymore.
Do you know the danger?
We have selfish leaders and leaders who do not know their left from their right.
Do you know the danger, Mami? If they were even spoiling the land and all of that, it would have been okay. Your human resource is being depleted.
Yes.
Your human resource is gone. It's gone. It's gone. Like right now, you shudder to think the preoccupation of the young people now. What do they think about? Are they progressive? Do they want to do something?
But have you noticed, Kwame, even on our television stations, and I think that the ones that manage media houses and own media houses, should not encourage people to come and advertise on juju men and pastors who say that I'll make you rich, I'll make you this. I mean, you see a billboard and they've written to have a good husband, to have love in your marriage, and you ask yourself that exactly what is that?
Anyway.
And so our youth today, Kwame, my conclusion is our youth today, okay, aspire being rich, and you ask yourself, how are they going to get there? So now their whole brain and mind is filled with ritual, murder, doing all the wrong things to be rich, killing children, stealing blood, killing pregnant women. Some of them, they'll say, sleep with 10 women a day.
Hey!
Yes. Some of the 419 things that they
do. 15 days to live.
Yes.
To enjoy the riches.
Yes. They say sleep with 10 women a day. Others, they say don't take a bath. So somebody could be rich, and when I say rich, they have all this sakatu hair, they are driving a nice car, and they stink because whatever ritual thing they went through said, don't have a bath.
It's not bad to be rich.
No, nobody is saying it's bad to be rich. Yeah. But how do you become rich? Yeah. Me, when I was younger, I was made to understand that it's in stages. You go to school, you learn, either you become an entrepreneur or you get a job to do. You know, when you start life, even when you're a younger person, you go for a small car. As you grow, you go for, you know, when you're retirement, you get your Mercedes Benz. That means we have saved towards it. You have your house, you know.
No,
it is the other way.
They are disrespecting.
It's the other way around. At 25, they want to have the
they are disrespecting your Mercedes. They use it for Uber.
Can you imagine? I mean society has turned upside down, or Africa has turned upside down. Are we going to sit down forever for somebody to sit somewhere and make sure that we just get poorer and poorer? Don't we have any leader who can stick his neck out and say that no more, we are going to make? And you know, I remember President John Dramani Mahama saying in one of his interviews, okay, that we can from our taxes, from, you know, the fees we pay here and there, we can have most of our incomes here. We can generate most of our incomes here and build our infrastructure. You know, once in a while we'll need help for huge, you know, projects, but most of the things can be done here.
Most of the things can be done here, says Mamefua. And Saka, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning.
I trust you are doing well.
Oh.
Why do you come in so late? Why?
Oh,
why do you do that?
It's got the traffic.
I like the way you said today.
Yeah.
But we are always late.
No. I mean, last week I was here before him. But
it's not true.
Well, welcome anyway.
thank you very much, Kwame.
You know, Mami says something, okay, and in fact I admit that is what it is. The fact that the current generation has lost focus and has derailed from the trajectory of progressiveness, right?
Yeah.
But would you entirely fault the young African for derailing from the trajectory of development? I'm asking this question because it is quite clear that their generation, the generation before them, have failed the people of Africa.
Yes.
So there are no jobs because you see, Saka, let's get serious here, please. We cannot say that they did not envisage that we'll get to a point where the needs of the people will increase, where as a result of growth, you know, population growth, etc., there will not be jobs, and so they needed to create jobs for the people. I'm not sure they didn't envisage that, but what did they do in bridging that gap between what the future needed and what they were able to produce at the time? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, I get that.
So we can all agree that we are a little disappointed in the current generation, but the current generation, but we cannot also entirely blame them, you know, if we don't go back into history and appreciate the things that we did, which things could have cumulatively inured to the benefit of the current generation. So it's like we just lived. They just lived, you know. Yeah, like Mamifa was saying, you know, when you finish school, you become an entrepreneur, or you get a job to do. You can be able to buy a smoke. Now you can't get a job to do.
Yeah.
Now you cannot be an entrepreneur because the economic structure of the African people is one that does not support. Well, it supports to a very limited extent entrepreneurship, but the opportunities that are available for the young people to take advantage of are very limited. And so it's like very few people, I mean a lot of people going in for very limited opportunities. So don't you think we should blame them?
Yeah.
Hadja and her people for failing the country. Which is why we are saying we should fix the country now, so that, you know, generations yet unborn will benefit. Hadja Hamdatu Ibrahim. Yes, Hadja Hamdatu Ibrahim.
As far as we showed the way, it's the people who took over
and the NDC that governed for 19 solid years.
As far as just 9 years.
That failed to plan for the current generation. I'm blaming.
NDC is 27 years.
No, let me just pardon them. I don't want to add the PMBC. I mean, I know it's 19 years. 19, Saka, 19 solid years. Yeah. Look at your Museveni. How many years has he been in power? 30 something years. Look at your own Togo, your backyard here. Yeah. How many years? So look at pardon?
2005.
Can you imagine? Look at Chad. Look at madness.
What about Cameroon? Who cannot?
Cameroon. Pobia cannot even walk. He can't even walk.
But they are still voting for him.
Pobia cannot even walk.
Nana Akufo-Addo sleeps all the time in his office.
But at least Nana Akufo-Addo has not been in power for 30 years.
He sleeps.
We had J.J. Rawlings who was in power for how many years?
19.
19 beautiful years.
He saved Ghana.
And within those 19 years, we could have done a lot for the people. And I'm saying this, so I'm Mr. Henneku said I shouldn't say I'm emotional. But I'm being very passionate about this. Because if we had a government that spent 19 beautiful years, and yet somehow we managed through the divestiture implementation, whatever, close all businesses and state, companies,
and bought some.
And took over some. Don't you think we should blame them?
Anyway, he didn't buy them.
You see, it's always good to understand. It's always good to understand the problems, so that we can find solutions.
Exactly.
So where we are, Saka,
if he didn't buy
they have disappointed us.
I think, Kwame, you have made it. This is not even a question. You have succinctly made the point that Africa by nature, we don't plan. We are people who lack planning. We believe in God. I remember some friends, who give birth to children with reckless abandon. And when you ask them, it's God that take care of children. You see, everything is not planned as a nation. And leaders reflect the people. You see, the same way that, we all know that our pain as Africa is leadership. It's clear leadership. Because we've seen, despite our disagreement with Kwame Nkrumah, nobody, not even the most, not even the most obtuse person would say that Kwame Nkrumah was not visionary. He was, to the fault. To the extent that the opposition was saying all our resources were being used in furtherance of certain objectives and all that. If you see even the development projects that he brought, it's leaves even the people at that time. For instance, the Akosombo Dam and all those factories. That was visionary leadership. And indeed, if all leaders...
Who removed him?
Oh, he was removed by the police military. Gone. Yeah, I want us to flow. The National Liberation Council. They were military. But we are talking about the progressiveness. So I just want to be objective. Yeah. You see? And I'm saying that despite... No, not for once. I have always said that Kwame Nkrumah, I even compare Kwame Nkrumah to Muammar Gaddafi. And I said that no matter what you do, if there is extrajudicial arrest, if the people think that the freedom that they want, they are not getting it, you can give them milk and honey. You can have all the visions. But if you don't give the people the freedom, they will revolt against you. And that was what happened to Kwame Nkrumah. It has nothing to do with his vision. It has everything to do with...
We didn't allow people to...
Yeah, it has everything to do with freedom. And that was even the first time culture of silence actually emanated from. I'm saying that. I'm saying that. Leadership has been our Waterloo. We have suffered greatly because we are unable to think together. The government is as bereft as the leadership. Because I told you that the leadership reflect the people themselves.
like I told you, even the individual will say that, oh, I will give birth and then God will take care of them and all that. And that is what is happening, because if you do not plan, I mean, you cannot achieve results. But if you think that, okay, let's do everything and then leave the rest to God. That's the reason why I say that we believe in God. So it's like that is what has come to stay in Africa. And for some of us, it came as no surprise that we are suffering, even though we are the continent with the untapped natural resources. Our natural resources are still at the virgin stage. Why is it at the virgin stage? It's because our minds are sleeping. And therefore our natural resources are also what? Sleeping. So if we had...
Also, the natural resources, they're not sleeping.
No, they're sleeping in the sense that...
Foreigners are taking...
Yeah, because...
Chinese...
the foreigners have... They've now, realized that they have to tap the natural resources for us.
For us?
Yeah.
They take it away.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because they have to do so, because you don't even know the use of it. If you even know the use of it, you don't want to think outside the box in order to have the best use for the natural resources. And when people say, the African personality is capable of managing his own affairs. Yes, the African is able to manage his own affairs when he is led to do so. You see, we don't seem...
when the African is directed to do so, then they can manage your own affairs. I mean, when they give you the IMF blues, they tell you don't toilet. You be telling yourself that that's a good one. You are poor, and then you go and put yourself in the apron string of the IMF. Then the IMF will tell you that, oh, don't employ here, because if you employ here, this is what the results will be. Meanwhile, it's not as if you don't know. You know all the IMF conditionalities that they normally give us. It's not as if our leaders don't know. They know. But the wherewithal, the discipline to carry through those things. So they will know, but they will not be able to do it until they are told to do so. Like somebody writing WSU exams. Like, until they are told to do so, they will never do the right thing. And that is what is happening to us. You see leadership, and you see that, oh, this leader, dear, Adabaraka. Apologies for the Pochiprat. Adabaraka. You see that leader, you know that this particular person, he's not supposed to be a leader, but everybody is following him. You go to church and you see that, I mean, this pastor is just bereft of even, he cannot even quote one single quotation from the Bible. But he is a person shouting hallelujah, and everybody, and the professors and everybody is responding. He is saying certain things that you know that this thing there,
misquoting them.
This thing there, it has nothing to do with Christianity. But the people will sit down and allow that to happen. So we have a problem.
You know, there was a video that was circulating of a pastor, who had lined up all the women and girls in his church. And he actually, let them raise their dress, put his hand through their panties, and pull something. And so I don't know what that was all about.
It's madness. When I was coming to work, I saw a church fully operating. Yesterday and today, the same church.
So they
people are there praying.
And these are
but you remember the pastor?
These are sane women. These are sane women lined up for one pastor to just fidget with their private parts.
I think the religion...
We should have a government who has the balls to stop all of these things.
But before the government will have the balls, the people must also agitate against. If the government...
These people who agitate against the government should come out and say that we have noticed this and noticed that.
If the government stands to do
it should be abolished.
The very people
we should put policies in.
Do you remember the pastor who stood on the drum with, full of water and washed himself? And then the whole congregation was drinking.
And we have
do you think that this thing can happen in Europe or America?
On people's,
because the people will think. They will think. They will say that, okay, this one is madness. They will quickly arrest the person.
Well, that's true.
They will quickly arrest the person, send him to psychiatric hospital.
That's true.
But here, we rather, coerce him. We rather, goad him in.
Did you see the?
Let me.
By people
All right. So let me go for this quick commercial break. But before then, let me say a special good morning to Togbe Agu Asamoah Kwanta, the third traditional ruler, Mafidove, Mafi traditional area, Central Tong District. You're doing the watching this morning. Good morning to you, Togbe. I trust that you are doing very, very well. Let me also let me go for this quick commercial break. But before then, let me remind you that we still have a few books left. Fight Back, a response to anti-Nkrumah provocations. For those of you who have bought it, you've read it, written, compiled in Ghana by a few of our comrades, very learned comrades. It's going, I mean, people are actually ordering from America, from Asia, from all over the world. So we have, I think we just have about, if I'm not mistaken, about 10 left. So yeah, if you want a copy of this book, call 0240 748782. 02 is only 25 cedis. 0240 748782. 0240 748782. Fight Back. I've also posted Nkrumah's speech on the 25th of May 1963 on my Facebook wall. You can as well go share it or read it. Quick commercial break. Stay with us. Don't move a muscle. It's still a newspaper review segment here on Pan-African Television.
Every day he has a drink filled with malt. Every day he has a drink filled with malt and milk. Every day he has a drink filled with malt, milk, and cocoa. Every day he needs the nutritious goodness of Milo. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved. Every day he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home, and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
Hello?
Oh, Sisiana sound.
Okay, wait a minute. Why? My wife comes and send a message. You have to speak on my Hello? I didn't know. What's happened?
It's a child who's will be a quiet say what? I dare say,
We signed for a friend. I'm so young. No, I'm not testing messages here. And our office also. I'm trying to tell you, man. She says, I
mean, so we a guy manu, and may young who could look ra. And also wants a family drilling company limited for Kana.
what's it name? Family Dwelling Company Limited.
Ye two borehole, biofuel, biogas, swimming pool, plumbing works in Danso. Ye be Frey 0240 333 111 and that's 0244 144 822.
Miampa and you want swimming pool on me fee. Me want to will be here. Family dwelling now. Family dwelling.
What fashion yana shit?
Me out with that.
We're back. Thank you. Send us your views and comments to our Facebook page, which is Pan-African Television, and on YouTube, Pan-African Television. Also on WhatsApp. The number is on your screens now. Let's come back home. Discuss. Well, we are already home, but let's discuss some other issues here. One of the issues which I believe ought to be given prominence is the issue of land seizure and harassment. And Saka, I'm sure if you have bought a land in Ghana or in Accra or anywhere else, I'm sure that you may have in one way or the other experienced some level of harassment from different people. I'm sure you recall the policeman who was murdered in Ablekuma, Kweku Ninja.
And Tola.
Kweku Ninja was murdered, and there's several other police officers and even citizens who've been brutalized and beaten and maimed and all of that, all in the name of land. The issue of land tenure, land allocation, land distribution, and all of that is a big issue in this country. However, we appear not to find any solution to those problems. Why?
I think we tied that one in.
Absolutely. Yeah. Accused of land. Yeah.
I mean, it is true. It is true that we have problem with land. We have problem with land tenure. We have problem with ownership of lands and all that. And it is because of the haphazard manner that the arrangement is done. I mean, if you go to land commission, people have lands, and even when the land is even registered, somebody still have still get ways and means of ensuring that they take the land away from you. Because I know that the last stage of ownership of the land is to register the land. But even after the registration, people still come to claim the land and even, have their way in court and all that. So we have a problem. And the problem is not just a problem, but a big one. To the extent that the influential person is always the person who is right. I mean, we say that might is right. And that has always been the case. And in some cases, it is the landers. You will see that, I mean, this particular person, this land does not belong to him. But he will gather young, energetic men to come and terrorize the rightful owner of the land. And then he will run away and then they will take the land. And especially, this happened in the developing areas. The areas that are now the newly developing areas. And it is so pervasive. It cut across, especially Accra and in some cases Kumasi. But the fact is that it is less in Kumasi because of the Ashanti Hene and then the powers that he wields, and the fact that he doesn't want to tolerate, such things. And most especially, it's the chiefs. You go to a lot of these areas. Our revered chiefs are the very people that are masterminding some of these things.
Yep.
They will give land to multiple people. And even in some cases, where the land does not even, the particular land does not even belong to them, they will take it as part of their ownership. And then, when you buy and settle him, then a different clan will come and say that, no, you bought it from a wrongful person, and therefore, you have to settle us too. So, it is a struggle to own a land. Look at what is happening. The Council of State chair accused of land seizure and harassment. I mean, I am not happy that the council, he also accuses some chiefs of taking lands that do not belong to them. And he wanted to according to him, he wanted to ensure the right thing. And those chiefs that he is accusing, he has taken them to court. And they are, running away from the law. So I'm even sure that bench warrants have been issued against some of them and all that. So now this is a counter. They are saying that he is also, the land that he is also, claiming are lands that do not even belong to his jurisdiction. I mean, they say that those lands do not even have borders with his jurisdiction. So they cannot come to, that understanding that indeed he owns those lands. So, Kwame, I think that we have a development challenge. And that challenge will still have to start with how we acquire land. And then you go to some places, they'll give you the land and say that within 1 or 2 years, if you don't develop it, don't be surprised that they will give it back to somebody else. Because of the pressure that comes. And then somebody will buy a land here in plot A. You come there the next 2 weeks, then they will tell you they have given it out to somebody, so let's go and then look for a different place for you. So you see the person will be moving from one place to the other because he doesn't have money to start, developing the place. Sometimes even when you fence the area, they will still have a way of taking the area and giving you your knowing very well that this is a person that we have sold this land to. I'm even shocked that I know of certain clans in Accra here. They have gone to court after more than 20 years. I'm even in court in Tassel a land, case. Yeah, since 2011 up to now.
Wow.
So the lengthy period, the lengthy period of land litigation itself, it's another problematic issue. I mean, there's a simple 1 acre land, and then you go to court interminably, and it doesn't. They seem not to be any insight as to when the case will. And in most cases, these are people who and I mean, we have issues, and it has also to do with some of the lawyers. They will have to do delay tactics and then let the encroachers still stay in the land for as many years as possible and all that. So there are so many ways that people use to deny rightful owners of their properties. And I think that the law and government itself will have to, have a second look at some of these things, especially land cases. And if you go to court, there are specific courts meant for land. We have land court 1, 2, 3, 4, up to 6, and still, I mean, land litigation still go on, unabated, and you don't know what is happening.
Right.
Let's synchronize land and its usage and its ownership, and when there is litigation of land, this should be expeditious. A trial, and let people who buy land and actually have a need for it have it. Instead of you have your land, you have a need for it, and then somebody will come, and then the whole process is in court for years and all that. And that is the reason why sometimes somebody will be coming and say that, yeah, I know that this land does not belong to me, but I will take it through the court system, and then punish the rightful owner. Yeah. And that's what is been happening. And sometimes when the rightful owner do not have the resources, because court, I mean, it is about money. Even the lawyer, that if a lawyer comes today, tomorrow, you need to pay and all that. So if you don't have money, it's always difficult nowadays. And I think that is not good for us.
All right, thank you very, very, very much. Right, so you are still asking for the number to call for the fight back. It's 0240-748782. 0240-748782. Call and grab a copy of this book, right? It's selling very, very fast. Land matters, Mamifa.
I believe that as a country we do not have a proper system for land matters. Right. Even though we have land commission and all of that, the ownership of the land systems here belongs to families, chiefs, and clans. And for that reason, it's become so complicated.
I don't know anybody. You guys don't want to talk about it. Say it. Why? Why are you scared of? There's 2 lands.
Yeah. So Kwame says I should add 2 lands.
Yeah.
So
you see politicians. Kwame says that.
No, I know that because you are a lawyer. I mean, there are some of this you need to bring them.
Yeah.
So yes, there's 2 lands.
Yes.
Thank you for that. I believe that because they are not in the, I won't say they're not in the proper hands. These are the owners of the land, No,
they are.
There's 2 owns the land, the family owns the land. Yes, I know that. Yes. So we have that conversation. Let me who wants to go to my friends? Who are you? We are as a citizen vigilante. Like Bernard Mona, I'm not saying I like that. When Bernard Mona was defeated, Bernard Mona said, no, I'm no longer a PSC chairman. I'm a political activist.
This Council of States chair, Nana Kwame Sirbo, who is today in the papers, apparently has connived with the police in the community. Well, that's what the newspaper says. Allegedly connived with the police in the community, and is taking over all the lands in the community, and the youth. And actually, he's actually using the police to beat up other sub-chiefs under him. Yes, it's in the papers here, inside. So they are harassing chiefs, they are harassing farmers, they are harassing the youth that we keep saying that they should go and farm. They are harassing all of them to leave their land so that they can sell the lands to other people. And Kwame, I just think that this is the leadership thing that Haji and I spoke about this morning, that the African leader, this chief is supposed to be a Council of State member and a leader in a community. All he's doing is taking from the people. And this is greed. This is greed. If what the newspaper is telling us is true, it is just not right. How can you take other lands that other chiefs are holding in what you call in trust? You know, what happens to the youth in the area? So there's been a huge demonstration in the community, crying out loud, saying that they will not allow Nanasiri board to keep cheating them. They are pleading with Asantehene to intervene. And it goes back to what we talk about African leaders. You know, our greed, or the greed of these African leaders will just not end. And it keeps destroying. You know, first of all, you must show leadership. And here you have a leader who is greedy, harassing other people because of what he wants. The money he is going to make out of the lands he's selling and all of that. And depriving the youth that would inherit those lands tomorrow. You know, what kind of leadership is this? I know that as a country, our land tenure system is a bit confusing because it's not owned by the state, okay? It's owned by all these, we have stool land system and we have all those, you know. So for that reason, sometimes the state do not have total control of land issues. That is why we have so many courts for land issues, and yet the problem is not solved. The problem is left with these chiefs, families, and what have you, who will sell one parcel of land to 10 other people because of their greed. So I think that some strong policies would have to framed or put together. So, and not only framed and put together, but also be implemented, so that there is some sanity as far as the land system is concerned. You know, Saka spoke a lot about the land tenure system and its complications and all of that. I believe that we as a people, the system itself doesn't help. But if the people are disciplined and there was a system that runs, there's no way that if I know that the land has been sold to Saka, I will go and buy. You know? But we do it to ourselves all the time. Why would a chief, a whole council of state chair, for that matter, disrespect other chiefs and the youth in the community so that he can have access to their lands and sell to others to come and, you know, mine, use as mining sites and all of that? I think that we should look at it again.
Very well. Thank you very much, Mami Efua. Let me come to you, Hajia Hamdatu Ibrahim.
Yes, Kwame. You know, it's sad. Reading the story, for me, I would have expected the paper to get the side of the chief so that we'll have a fair balance in this discussion. Because if we're going to go according to the story, then I think the chief is not qualified to lead or even chair the Council of State. The Council of State are supposed to be doing what? Advising the president.
Absolutely.
But if you have, quote unquote, Bandi terrorizing his own people, I'm basing my decision on the story. That is why I started by saying that if we had this his side,
story, yeah.
Do you understand? Maybe you would have made an informed comparison of what really transpired there.
Right.
But if it's true that the youth are demonstrating, then which means there's a problem. You know, these two land, then land. Look, in Bolga, my father took a land from the government for 50 years. And after 50 years, you only go and renew your destiny with the government, isn't it? Then a group of people will take us to court. Yeah, the land is for them. And you have the courts entertaining the people in the court. In the first instance, they are supposed to be thrown out. Or Because what shows that you are the true owners of the land? You don't have anything.
Yep.
You're not farming there. You're not doing anything. But we have a system where they're entertaining them. So we're in court. Where I'm staying in Kwabenya, at times, if depending on my mood, then I call it Kwabenya or Pokwasi. Why am I saying this? I bought the land from Kwabenya people. Land commission or something brings me yearly this thing for me to pay property rates. Now, I started developing. Then a gentleman came, or should I say an old man, came and said the land is for him. We struggled. I put a wall. Then he built behind my house. Then the assembly came and broke his house. And then he took me to court. So I was telling my lawyer, let's find out whether I broke the building, because I'm not AMA or Gan West or Gan East. But we are in court. Maybe I'm in the house.
Actually, I'm not cutting.
Wait.
You.
Okay.
I just want, because of what you're saying, I just want to bring in the Nigerian High Commission case and the Raymond Archer case as part of your example that you.
So now, I was there. Then the Pokwasi people came and were disturbing me. They said the land is for them. Meanwhile, there is a 4 plot of land owned by one person. And he sold to the 3 of us. The first one is a policeman. He bought 2 plots, and I'm in the middle. And then there's a gentleman this way. They are harassing me alone. That particular one is for Pokwasi people. So Pokwasi 2 came because I didn't want any man. I paid for another indenture, so I have 2. Pokwasi and Kwabenya. Meanwhile, the Queen Mother of Kwabenya is just behind my house.
And what does she say?
I said, so we are in court. Maybe I'm staying in the house. Because I told the guy, when he took me to court, we went, the land people came and did the distance and said, oh, that's not where his land is. That's not where my land is. I said, but I have the building there, so that is my house. Do you understand? They sell land, and then because of the gidi-gidi, let me use the word gidi-gidi, you quickly put a wall to secure your land.
Of course.
Meanwhile, the measurement was not taken well. So I think I left most of the front distance without, so I decided to break my wall
And
then extend it. Then the land guys said they will not agree unless I pay 1,000 Ghana cedis.
Land guys.
That was the first day I went for my COVID distance. Thursday. So Friday I was feeling. So
Why did they say they won't agree?
That they won't agree. I have to pay ASAFO money. There's a house on the land. So I said, So my daughter said, Ajia, mommy, just give. I said, I should give them 1,000 Ghana. I said, do I have it? So I said, oh, in order for peace, you just go, because they've mixed mortar and everything, and they were trying to destroy the whole thing. And people came around, my neighbors, I was standing watching them and laughing. I said, you don't know, if you see somebody's abojisha catching fire. So I was standing there. So I gave them, I said, you just take this and go and chop. I don't want problem. 200 Ghana cedis. Listen to this. Sunday, I was inside. Then one person, the leader, he didn't come with the same people, but another group. So I said, the day before he said I was sick, but today I'm fine, pa. So I came out. Aja, go late. No, I'm mini. I don't speak Ghana properly, but I understand you. I say if I come out, okay, I'm out. Do what you want to do. Is this land for you? That the front of my house is not for me. The land guard, that is not for me. And I said, okay, go and come and sell them. Then he called somebody, ni nakahaja mini wa waba plale. Then I said, plan me. Wait, I did something that one I can't say it on air. Come and see speed. Since then.
You brought your gun?
No, I didn't bring anything. I didn't say anything. They ran away. I said, you want 1,000 Ghana cedis for what work done? You see, so they are just going around there, disturbing people. They will call the supposed chief, maybe it's not a chief, and then they'll be making noise. How can you? I told them that I said, I have a land in Tamale from 2008 with 3,058 blocks.
Still there.
Anytime I go, I count, it's like that.
The blocks?
They're in the land, nobody has gone to touch it. So I said, why is it that Accra, you buy a land, We have a land at Barrier. You are talking about registration. Do you know what they do? The new trick is that they will go and survey. If you have not registered your land, then they'll quickly sell it and they'll go and register.
Yeah, that's what they do.
So that is where the court should also look at. Because we have
fraud, yeah.
We have a land there. Somebody said he bought the land in 2018. He has his land title. So we're at a police station, Wager. So I said, look at that. This land will be there. It has been walled. That is only the front that we wall. I said, yes, we delayed. Because the back has walled. This side has walled. And then, so we will just do the front and then we are covered. Like mine, I did all the walling. So this side benefited from me. This side benefited and then my back also benefited. That is how it is. So 2008, 18, or was it 19? You went and bought a land 2019. You quickly went and connected with the registered builder and they registered for a land title. Not this land. You take it. I said, we'll continue. We'll go to court. Yeah. Because the court will look at the merit of the case. When did you buy it? Who sold it to you? And this land has been with us for 30 good years. You can see a foundation, the structure that we wanted to put on. But, you know, we can start something. But because of gashi, you cannot continue. Captain Smart of Wager Police Station, I salute you this morning. You see, if it's anything at all, if it goes to the courts, the judges, they should be careful and then look at the thing properly, because these lawyers, they can do this just because they want to win the case for them. Now, this my house, I'm in it. Even the man I met in Lower just last 2 months, my lawyer called me again. That they've gone, I said they can be going. Me, I'm not going anywhere. Me, I won't go anywhere. I'm in the house. They should just come and break the house. I'm in the house. Why? Because the man told me, Bojibo. No, Babi, no, Missy Bo. Go to Tamale and see whether there are no guns and fountains and this and that. We are there, living peacefully. They have lands, buildings. If they come and just buy one land, they'll say you are poor. What is the meaning of that? What's the meaning of that? So I think, for me, from the day one, there was a mistake. Nobody should have been said, this is my land, this is my land, this is my land. Even boundaries, you know, they are fighting. Yeah. Chiefs fighting chiefs because of demarcations. Is the land for you? From day one, we should have done it in such a way that all land should be vested in the
I think that should have been it.
Yeah. That should have been the best.
That should have been there. That should have been.
So if you want land,
would have also come with this.
No. You see, we would have had, of course, initial problems. Yeah. But eventually that would have, because in all progressive countries, go to Rwanda and see why do you think Rwanda is developing? There's land for, like precisely what Kwame Nkrumah did. That there's land specifically for industrialization, specifically for agriculture, for residential purposes. So you cannot go and sell an industrial land for residential purposes.
What is happening now in this country?
It's not possible.
All farmlands
have been sold.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. Yes. And we are just sitting down and we are just looking. Yes. Yesterday, Mr. Eneku was educating me about the whole of Ashanti.
Taking land and even reselling it to Ghanaians.
Go to the Tema area.
Go to my area.
25.
You are going too far. You are going too far. Say my area. Those are the lands are owned by Nigerians and things.
What is the meaning of this?
Nigerians are buying like 5 acres and
money.
We say 5 acres.
No, I'm talking about my area. Because my area land is very expensive.
Kwame, for me, the leadership of the, you see, if you're talking about leadership and we just look at the president, that's why we're getting it wrong. Even though leadership, president or for that matter, should give direction. But look, you have a situation where they say it's a still land. Still land. Can the minister or the MP go and tell the chief that?
You can't.
That is why we have the challenge.
You can't.
We have to be leaders in our communities, in our homes, and change our mindset.
Actually, the point is even that.
Because if we don't do that,
let's assume that
we'll be tenants in our
absolutely.
Own.
Let's even assume that we say, okay, the lands belong to the stool. Let's just assume. Can't we also have a system where even if the land belongs to the stool, there will be residential, ones demarcated for just residential purposes.
Now, East Legon is Market Square.
One for this, one for that. And when they sell the land, most of the chiefs, when they sell the land, they don't even use it for developmental purposes in their
communities and all that.
You know when you said, you know when you see.
Okay, let me just say something.
When you saw the land, you're supposed to use it for the.
Okay, Kwame. In other countries,
Kwame,
there's a system that runs. Why is it that in this country nothing runs? The system.
There's a problem.
I don't know whether there's a system or it's broken, but whatever it is, we'll have to
fix it.
Yeah, we have to fix it.
Football parks have been sold.
Yes.
You see, Kwame, these chiefs, that's why I'm saying that they don't even have the right to even say the land is for them. When you sell the land, what do you do to your community?
That is the point.
No, they chop it.
That's the
What do you do
point.
to your community?
That's the point.
You don't do
because they're
And
supposed
you
to.
know that some of them exchange the land for cars.
Yeah.
I mean, so are you going to share the car with the community?
Because they're supposed to,
So
out
from
of the
the way you
proceeds,
know that this guy is going to chop the money.
out of the proceeds, they're supposed to build schools and things like
Let me
that.
tell you one thing. Let's not even Accra. Look at where some of us are coming from, the north and other things, where there are lands now. They've also started selling the land. Whether we like it or not, they are selling the land. People have come to stay in Accra, in Kumasi. They have acquired certain things. Chiefs don't come together to discuss. Oh, this person is from maybe Bichartanga, or from Klonyung, or from Bolgatanga, or from Zwarungu. How many people can we get living in Accra or Tamale who are maybe doing well? Let's get about 20 of them, put them, and then this land, we want you to put a school for the community. So they don't do that. They don't do that. Some of us, we are not proud of our towns. We are not. We have to they have to demarcate it in such a way that there will be a place for market, a place for football, a residential area,
Sports,
and
athletics.
and everything.
Yeah.
Look, Ashoma. Look at the if not because of the demonstrations who they've did a yeoman's job by fencing the people were encroaching it. No place for recreation. You go abroad, you see a place, a park, trees. People will come and sit there. We don't have it here.
Even university campuses. People encroach there.
So what is the meaning
People
of
encroach there.
So for me, Kwame, as for this land issue, we have to look at it critically. Because you cannot sell land. I've bought my land. I have my receipt. I start building. Then somebody will come and say, the land is for me. And then they take you to court. And then you go to court. The person will stop going to court again. No? Maybe you have started building already. You said, oh, let me finish my house and go. Because I cannot be renting a house and paying 1,000 Ghana cedis a month when I have bought a plot and I've started and I'm going to finish it because somebody has taken me to court. I'll go and finish one room and be there until the matter is settled. Do you understand? And it brings problems because this one will say, I will not agree. This one too will say, I will not agree. And it brings problems. This one will go and bring his land guard. I remember when we started development at the Kwabenya Pokwasi land. They brought me land guard. I'll be sleeping on the land every day. It got to a time they said, Mamile Seke, I'm saying, I'll use my Seke to acquire my land because I won't allow you people to cheat me.
You were sleeping on the land?
On the land, yes! I was there every day, from morning till evening with my Buta and Kabarama. No, because it is not fair. That time, I bought it for
that is one-man demonstration.
I tell you.
Yes. So, you see, Kwame, if you come back to this issue,
2004.
if you come back to the issues,
Yeah.
that is why a Council of State's chair is able to cheat its people. You understand me? And the youth of that community are demonstrating.
And then you see, the danger is that if you're a leader of a community and you start demonstrating against you, you have to be careful.
You have to be careful.
So if that is what is happening, I think this chief, I revered him.
No, but it is not. It is not the where he is the chief.
That is what I'm saying.
But the chiefs that he is harassing, supposed to be harassing, the subjects are the people demonstrating against.
That is what I'm saying. So, if he's seizing the land and selling, those who are going to acquire the land will face the wrath of the youth.
Yeah, we don't know peace. Anyway, right. You can as well send your views and comments to our WhatsApp number, and we're also streaming live on Facebook. Kindly share the feed so others can get the opportunity to watch as well. Right. So dark streets, safety swallowed up in the night. Insecurity matters. Adia.
Yes. It's a subject that I'm really passionate about because of where I live. And
where do you live now?
Oh, no, Kwabenya.
Yeah.
Well, I said where I live.
Okay,
I didn't say now.
Okay.
Because somebody was saying we're talking about disability, and then I was also saying that in all of us have a kind of disability, whether we like it or not. Maybe if you are short, you can't take something from a high place. It's a disability. My vision, maybe in the night is blurred. If I'm driving and then somebody is driving opposite and then he throws the light, I cannot see. It's disability. Now, if you are driving from Achimota to my area,
problem.
The main road is a 3-lane. But if it's dark, you see that you'll be driving into somebody's because it's dark. No road markings. We went to Edukrum the weekend to bury one of our comrades. And then we're having a discussion with the Minister of Local Government, Honorable Damboche, good morning. And he was telling us if it's in the morning, you don't see some of the houses around because of the fog. The streets there are not marked. Even if you are using your lights, you cannot drive well as a country. But we'll go and do road markings where it is not necessary. So I think the road minister, he's going to do how many roads? Today is a press conference. Saka, is it today?
Road minister.
Road minister.
He did the press conference 2 days ago.
Oh, it's 2 days ago. Oh, yeah. Okay, yes. So I am a bit worried when I'm driving in the night on some of the roads in this country. No marking. The street lights are not on. I don't know whether they are just a decoration. Street lights. Kwame, why don't we turn all our street lights into solar? Whether there's Dumo, there's Soul, still the lights will be there. You see beautiful street lights, but in the night, they are off. So it's in the morning that the lights are there, because then you can see it.
Yeah.
So for me, I think, it is something. It's something that is worrying.
Right.
And then look at I'm even surprised. In this 21st century, 64 years of our independence, Kumasi, Accra Road is just a portion that is dual.
It's terrible.
Most of the places is just one lane. So that's why
face you
are facing. And the overtaking on that road, the rate of accident. So for me, we should look at how we are developing our economy. The infrastructure development. Even 4 years, if we are able to use it, I'm telling you, to construct from Elibo to Paga is an achievement, because it's a major road. It's a major road. I'll come back to Edukrum again. When we went, the Honorable Damboche, where we went to bury our destiny, there's a road that they are constructing. There's concrete. Why? Because that one will last. I saw a video, or is it a picture, of a road that was constructed. It's like a mat. Somebody went and lifted the thing like this.
I saw it.
Meanwhile, we have engineers. See, we have armed robbers and we have pen robbers.
Oh yeah.
Some people use their pen to rob this country. But you should know that one day, me, I want money, but I want money that I can account for.
Right.
Because even the good book says that the accountability day is coming.
Right.
Or will be there. So I think, especially with the markings, if the road minister is listening to us this morning, we cannot just construct roads, no proper markings. The place is dark, and we'll be driving into each other to kill ourselves.
Thank you.
I think, Kwame,
Thank you.
Because
Thank you,
I looked at the time, that's why I'm big.
Yeah, I know. Good morning to you, Kwame. Greetings to your panelists. I think we do not have leaders. We rather have managers. Until Africans elect leaders, we will still be moving backwards. From CS Tenge in Akachi. This one says, in fact, Adja is always hitting the point. Ajebajenga from Navrungu. Good morning to you. KO, the way your panelists antagonize the church is most unfair. Please, be well informed before painting the church with a bad brush. The so-called pastor that bathed in drum and gave the water to his members to drink is the same person that pulled the pant of a lady. He's not a pastor. He's an online anti-church crusader. Those videos were all acted. All right, that's what you're saying. But why did he only use the church, even if it was staged? Yeah. Why no other? Why no other? No, why? It means that people are doing similar things.
It was a reality.
Yeah, similar things in the church, and he's just mimicking them, if you will. Mr. Kennedy, the services in our country is dipping from bad to worse. Especially when you go to Tafo Government Hospital for treatment between 4 a.m. and 8 a.m. There will be about 50 patients and only one doctor servicing the emergency room and leaving other patients to suffer. They should do something about it. It's most unfair. What is the doctor to patient ratio now?
One doctor takes care of 100 or more patients a day.
No, I think 1 is to 6,000.
Yes, it's more than 7,000.
Hey.
The last one I checked was
1 to 6,000.
1 to 6,000. Yeah.
That's the ratio.
The ratio.
1 to 6,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last one I checked was around 1 is to 6,000. It's crazy. Good morning to you, KOD. Please, were you born in the late 70s and early 80s? If yes, then you are not being fair to NDC. And for that matter, JJ Rawlings. The Bane has been strong opposition from Nkrumah's time till now. It's not no matter how good the decision or plan is, they will pull you down. Kekeli from Kwame send this one. I agree with you, but Charlie, as for our very own JJ Rawlings there, Charlie, the guy had absolute control. Master, have you forgotten? You remember Circle? What's his name?
He was a disciplinarian.
You don't go fit pass Circle. So, for a very long time, we didn't even work in there.
Don't you see that was discipline?
Yeah, well, that's what it is. And I'm saying that he could have done more. Hi, Kwame. We are all sick in this country. Agbe from Pong. Good morning to you. That's all you wrote. Good morning to you, Kwame, to you and the panelists. Dada Akufo-Addo lost election to be in charge of Ghana. He connived with the assembly, brutalized the people, and eventually NDC were told to go to court. They did. The judges then allow the land guards to be interrogated. All lands issues takes years. Lieutenant Nelson, SAC, Royal Air Force, Gibraltar, Southern Europe. Thank you very much for sending this message in from Gibraltar. Greetings to you, Kwame, and my indefatigable Mama Jamda, to Lawal bin Mohammed from Kumasi sent in this one. Good morning to you, KOD. These Malams and pastors are the same people who visited the same people visited by our political gurus. They are pampered at the expense of the youth, who are the nation builders, our selfish leaders, and of course, they know themselves. They are mentally sick. Osman from New Abrim sent in this message. You sent me a voice note. I don't know how you expect me to read the voice. Kwame, I think Saka should join either the NDC or CPP from today because his contribution shows that he's a good man, but join the wrong party. Dear Pan-African TV, the only leader in Ghana who can develop our country today is Mahama and no one else. Joy from Takwa sent in this one. Yes, we need a government who has the balls to put these religious bodies in checks, but it seems they can't do so for the fear of making them unpopular during elections. Why are we Africans living like we've lost our brains to religion? JF sent in this one. This one says, my brother, the president always sleeps during the African summit. Yes, fight back. The number is 0240748782. Call that number for a copy. I am Mr. Owusu from Ghana National College. Pan-African TV, you have done a fantastic job today. This is a very good discussion. Keep it up. All right, thank you. Mami, let me come to you, and then I'll end with Saka. Then we close for the day.
Yeah, about the
Yes.
dark streets.
The dark
right?
streets, yes.
First of all, it's about leadership, okay? We have leaders who have huge budgets to do infrastructure, and yet they don't do it.
Right.
We have a leader who said he can do it, even when one party, like MPP, won elections, he still said we didn't win elections, connived with the EC, like the guy from Gibraltar was saying, connived with the EC, somehow they won, and now the country has collapsed completely. We have all the poles there, we have all the whatever that shows that there should be lights on the street, and yet there's no light on the street. Management of the country is poor. Planning is zero. I mean, sometimes you ask yourself that exactly what is happening. When it comes to infrastructure, this particular government when it comes to infrastructure, this government is not able to execute. This government is just a government that consumes. Kwame, this money that they are bringing in, this 170 million euros that they have just signed to bring in to come and work, do you think that MPP government can actually execute what they promised to execute? They cannot. They will consume this money just as they consumed the COVID-19 funds that came to them. So as for me, I really do not believe MPP when they come and say that, you know what, we signed this contract, we are going to improve on agriculture, we are going to improve on IT, we are going to improve on this. For me, it is all just English language. If we really want to lift up this country, which industry did COVID really destroy? Hospitality is one of the industry that, you know, COVID really destroyed. The hospitality industry. Why then don't push money into the hospitality industry so that it trickles down and everybody benefits from it? And add the agric and ICT and all of that. Now they are just going to create, you know, false company, you know, ICT companies using their cronies and families and friends. You know, it is all going to be chopped in there. And Ghana will go back to, you know, what do you call it? We go back to ground zero. We start from the bottom again. Ghana is going towards HIPIC right now. We keep taking the loans and taking the loans and taking the loans, and nothing is being done. Nothing at all is being done. Unfortunately, the leadership of this country is not trying.
Right.
We have youth who are anxious, who really want to have a leader who is going to lead them and give them hope. At the moment, our youth is hopeless. Our youth are fighting just to make sure that they can see something, a light at the end of the tunnel. And here we are, no hope. With our current leadership, I think that Ghanaians now, I will say, I told you so. Now Ghanaians have seen that it's not every leader that can deliver. We spoke about Kwame Nkrumah here, and when was Kwame Nkrumah the leader of this country? 60 how many years ago? We still talk about Kwame Nkrumah. And I know that in the near future, we'll talk about John Dramani Mahama. For the little time he had, the short period he had, the kind of infrastructure that he was able to, you know, roll out in this country, you know. And if you ask me and Saka, you ask ourselves that what exactly is this leadership doing? It's just consuming.
Well, viewers, I don't want to imagine what just happened. When my neighbor was asking Saka to admit that this government has failed, Saka just choked on his water. He couldn't believe it. Why did you do this to Saka? Oh dear Lord. Let me just go for this quick commercial break. I'll be back shortly. Stay with me.
Every day he has a drink filled with malt. Every day he has a drink filled with malt and milk. Every day he has a drink filled with malt, milk, and cocoa. Every day he needs the nutritious goodness of Milo. Milo, the energy to go further. This advert is FDA approved. Every day he looks after his brother and chases a bus. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, and learns new things. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, and gets back home. Every day he looks after his brother, chases a bus, learns new things, gets back home and helps his mom. Phew. That's why every day he needs his cup of Milo filled with the nutritious goodness of malt, milk, and cocoa. Milo, the energy to go further.
From Nestle.
This advert is FDA approved.
Saka, welcome back from intensive care unit. Anyway, so let's end the show with you.
I think Mama F just did the Agama lizard. He just did that.
You caused it.
No,
She didn't cover her point.
No, I think she just did the Agama lizard because look, the topic really is about dark street safety swallowed out in the night. She was all over the place. I mean, COVID-19 fans. You know, you got it. But no problem. If I'm a examiner, I will mark the Agama lizard. I'll go there and then challenge you. You see? Well, I mean, we all know the challenges that confront us when it comes to street lights. Street lights. I mean, it's not peculiar to only this government. All other governments. I think we've been having problem with having our nights lightened and all that. I mean, you know, lightening our streets, especially the cities, is one surest way of ensuring security for the people. But we have not taken this thing as a priority. You know, we all know, I mean, Accra is the capital, not just the capital of Greater Accra, the capital city of Ghana. And therefore, one would expect that every small street should have street lights. Let's take it as a priority. Let's ensure that the MP's common fund or whatever money that is given to them, let's ensure that even some of the assemblymen, they also get some of this. So let's make it a priority. That street lighting. Because we even have a levy, the street lighting levy, and then we don't utilize it. And I think that is problematic. But for Mamefo to now say that, oh, this government in terms of infrastructure is not, I don't know where you get all these things from. The NDC have created a certain niche. A certain niche after spending almost 30 good years. 30 good years in office. And then every day they talk about infrastructure. And when you interrogate them, what are the infrastructure that you talk about? They haven't want what infrastructure. You see, I always want us to do the infrastructure debate. If you ask the NDC hospitals, they will go and start mentioning what Kufuor started. They will go and start mentioning them. If you ask them about schools, then they will go and mention 200 schools. The 200 schools that they said they built, they only built 40. 40. Wow. And meanwhile, they will make noise, and even the 40, they build them in the bush. It's not working. Meanwhile, these are the things that they talk about. If they talk about even a power infrastructure, the thermal plants, right? They only have 2 to talk about. Even the 2, it's not something that was started and ended. The Amiri and the car power. Amiri and car power, they are just ships that is exported from one country, from Turkey to Ghana. It doesn't matter. It's like
you said you didn't have use for it.
No.
You said you didn't know the use of it.
No.
We had wasted.
Nobody says so. Respectfully, let's.
Nobody says. If we talk of road,
you want to also drink water so that.
Kwame, if we talk of road infrastructure,
yes,
the NDC did very little when it comes to road infrastructure. Let me tell you, in terms of the kilometer of roads that was built under our 4th Republican dispensation, Kufuor took the road infrastructure. J. Kufuor took it. Let me start from J. Kufuor. He took it from 35,000 kilometers to 69,000 kilometers. Professor Mills and John Mahama, both of them, took it from 69,000 to 74,000. So they only added 5,000 kilometers of our roads. And somebody took it from 35 to 69. And then you think that you have done better. And currently, as we are speaking, we have moved it from 74 to 78 under another Dankwa 4-year tenure. And then you sit here and talk about infrastructure. I bemoan the fact that we need to give it a priority. Okay. And ensure that our street lights
in conclusion
are given
priority.
Lighting, especially we pay street lighting levy,
right,
as part of the
taxes
and therefore we have to have it in order for us to lighten the place and ensure that we kept armed robbery and all those things. Right. I mean, it is a very important thing that must be done.
Thank you very much, Sakasalia. Mommy, for my time is up.
About, this our educational system, the free SHS. It is apparently almost no free anymore. The double track system. I don't know whether you've seen it. You know,
we should talk about it.
These are the people who said they are giving Ghana free education.
I think the next time we'll focus on that.
It is not free anymore.
Thank you, Haja.
Now they are asking PTA to pay 300 cedis every month.
Where? Which school?
Every month.
Every
no,
school.
which school is that?
Every school.
So who directed?
Haja, thank you. Mommy, thank you. Saka, thank you very much. Well, viewers, we've come to the end of today's edition of Good Morning Africa. Thank you. We've come to the end of today's edition of Good Morning Africa show. My name is Kwame. Oh, thank you, beautiful ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you guys tomorrow. But Haja Hamda too. Oh.
Yes, sorry.
Let me leave you in the hands of Vibes Cartel. He has a very nice song. Enjoy.